All right, so you're probably wondering what a day on safari looks like. In this video, I'm going to answer that question, and hopefully it'll bring you one step closer to deciding if an African safari is the right vacation for your family. I'm Karen, and I am committed to helping families take vacations that bring them closer to each other and to the world. All right, so let's start with just a timeline of how a day would work, and then we can get into some of the activities and different things that you might be doing. So safari mornings start quite early. When I was on safari recently, our wake-up calls were 5:30 in the morning. You had about half an hour to get ready in your accommodations, and then we would head out for breakfast. Breakfast what took about half an hour. And that was plenty of time as everything's prepared for you. So we had about half an hour, and then we were heading into our first activity. So starting your first activity at 6 o'clock in the morning. The reason that's important is because the animals are more active early when it's cooler and late when it's cooler, and they're quiet in the middle of the day. So you want to get an early start so that you can be out and about when the animals are. So the first activity generally lasts until maybe about 11:30. So 6 to 11:30, there's some breaks in there with tea time, coffee, snacks, that sort of stuff. But that happens as part of your activity. And so at the end, you come back to the accommodation, the lodge, camp, whatever you want to call it. And you go right into lunchtime. So lunch again prepared for you. You have a leisurely lunch, and then it's a siesta. So there's a good long break in the middle of the day after lunch, where you can decide for yourself what you'd like to do. For me, that includes a nap. Couple of reasons. It's super hot. You've gotten up really early and you're tired. So a siesta is a great thing, like maybe a little swim and then a siesta. So wake up time from your nap is, I believe it was at about 3:30, and we would go for tea time. Tea actually meant basically another small meal. So there were some savory options, some sweet options, coffee, tea, and drinks. You would fuel up and then how to head out for your other block of activity time. And that would run from, about 4 when you leave, 4:30 until about 8 p.m. So during that time, again, there's usually what they call sundowners, which is drinks out in the bush or drinks out during your activities. With some snacks and things, so you don't ever have to worry about being hungry. There's always plenty of food. And then you come back from your activities quite late and start dinner, go right into dinner time at around 8 o'clock. And, dinner takes an hour or 2 hours, depending on how much chatting you're doing. And then you're headed back to your tent for bedtime. So that's about what a day looks like in terms of timing. Okay, so talking about the activities that you have during those 2 big blocks of time each day. It really depends on which country you're in and where your camp is situated. If you are near water, of course, there's going to be water activities. There could be canoeing. There could be like a sunset sail cruise with drinks on the water. If you are near, for example, I stayed near Victoria Falls. So we went out on a walk and we saw the falls. We did the took lots of pictures, that sort of thing. So the activities really depend on where you are. Generally, a big part of safari are the bush drives, which means you get into your safari vehicle, you go out looking for the animals that you're interested in, whether that's, elephants, cheetah, lions, the big game, giraffes, zebra, buffalo, it goes on and on. Some people are really into birds, so they might be going out looking for birds. So again, what you're doing on your bush drive would depend on your interest and where you are staying, so which animals happen to be around in that area at that time. A couple of other activities that I was really excited to join in on was going to one of the local villages that the company that I work with is connected to, and so we got to meet the chief, the elder of that area, talk with him, meet his family, take a look and see how they live. They were super excited to show us. We got to go shopping at the market at their village and learn about some of the different economy building projects that Wilderness Safaris has helped them with. So we got a little taste of authenticity there, and that was really great. And to see the kids and all of that was pretty awesome. Another activity was we got to go to the anti-poaching unit in Hwanghae National Park. There they told us all about their work to stop poaching of elephants specifically, but all types of animals in the area. And got to meet the people who actually do that work and see the snares that they have removed and hear all about what they are doing. So those are two kind of special activities. And again, it would depend on if, that was an option in the area that we chose for your African safari. But there's kind of endless activities. It's not just about being in a safari vehicle and driving. That's a big part of it, but as you can tell, there are a lot of options. So you might wonder what you would do if you were on safari with your kids and you were interested in one activity and the kids were not. So if you've watched my previous video about why you might want to take a luxury safari, this is another reason. Some luxury safari companies offer a program where there are specific people in the camp who are there to take care of your kids. And when you arrive, there is a person who is there basically to act like a nanny or like a babysitter. They're specially trained to work with your kids and to make sure that their safari experience is really fun and exciting, and also to give you a break. So that means if you wanted to go out on that, afternoon game drive and your kids were like, oh, I'm so done, you could hand your kids off to your, that special person who is on hand to look after them, and that person might take the kids to do some baking with the chef in the kitchen area, or maybe they would go out on like a little bushwalk near the camp, and they would learn about footprints and insects and whatever it is that the kids are really interested in. Or maybe it would just be that they would go for a swim in the pool, or what have you. So there are options for families to go on safari, but you could do different things if your interests don't always coincide. So yeah, that's a great option for families, and I wanted you to know about that so you can consider it again as you're looking to go on a safari for yourself. So now you know a little bit about what a day on safari would look like, some activities that you might choose, and some options to make it even more awesome for your family. So hopefully that is taking you one step closer to making your decision. And in my next video, I'm going to talk about whether or not it's safe to take your kids on an African safari, and I'm just getting into the safety aspect. So see you over at that next video.